hands on your hips. You say it out loud. Hey!
Hey!
One more time. Hey! Hey! Well done. Now we're going to the next step with a bit of music. I'll get you ladies to follow the maidens and the men please follow the warriors. On the count of 4, down, 4 long point. Now days of old, not the days of old, days of new. We saw a male perform that, depicting the wing patterns of the Portugal, New Zealand's rare white heron. However, we have come to our final item, a beautiful Māori love song, Ko Kare Kare Ana. We sing in honour of our ancestors Hinemoa and Tupaniwa. Romeo and Juliet type love story with a happy ending. So enjoy as we sing for you now, Ko Kare Kare Ana.
Oh
thank you very much once again, folks, for travelling here to experience our Māori culture, again through the performing arts. We hope that you leave a little bit more enlightened about our culture, what it has to offer. So in saying that, we'd like to thank all those men who joined their Chief Tom on stage with the haka. And learning the vowels in Māori, a, e, or u. Now that you know them, you shouldn't have a problem pronouncing kia ora. So here we go, one last time, kia ora!
Kiwi house.
Cái con kiwi đó giống như cái lông con nhím á, phải con nhím không?
Đúng vậy.
Hình như mình gọi nó là con nhím thì phải.
Chụp. Đẹp quá sao này. Có ai thử chụp cho đi mà. Đẹp quá.
What?
Wow.
Oh, they're doing honey. That's a honey. Yes, that's like
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, lake.
Đi xuống cái lake này chỉ có cái con blue duck này nó phao ở đây thôi nha. Native to New Zealand nè. See in the $10 New Zealand note.
Oh, yeah. Ôi, thằng này đang lại coi nè. Ooh.
Kamu tak macam mana? Bukan sama. Jadi apa dia? Oh, 好漂亮啊！咱们走。
Beautiful.
我有你微信。有。
Yeah, very strong. Yeah. Ooh. Đang về mưa. Ooh. Very strong. Yeah, đứng kìa, cao kìa. Chụp con. Chụp ba mẹ con. Rồi sao kìa.
The only thing that the human has made is the bridge that we're standing on. Everything else has been created by Mother Nature.
Too good to be true. Beautiful. Con kìa.
Kỳ này nó phóng mặt nha.
Quá rồi mà nó nãy chờ cái tiếng hồ mà chờ.
Xí, nước không mà.
Nước không à.
Tôi nghe nước nó bốc mô lên đó.
Rồi. Phóng kìa. Very strong, very strong. Oh, very strong. Ooh. The guys are Buhutu guys are in Rotorua, New Zealand.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
So where are we going after this?
Mud pool. Very interesting. I cannot get in anymore. I cannot get in anymore. The Tomo inside inside apartment. Boiling mud. Yeah, it's boiling mud inside the apartment. Ooh, very nice. I like it. Here where we cook with the fish. Here where we cook. Ooh, you look at that. Watermelon, glow worm. Đây là mới nè, phải là không có này.
20 năm rồi.
And then we come back here, enjoy the life again. Don't care about something happen.
Awful lot yet, so I'm still a baby. This is our bungee jumping bridge. That's so good, you only do it once. And on the left is the local prison. When we get that split out, we're going to be here on Monday, so that's why there's no one.
Local prison đó. This week.
On your left again, you can see the remains of the ancient Hobbit castle. So that was destroyed in the wars between the Hobbits
Nè
and
nè nè,
the elves.
hồi đó mình đâu có đi xe gì thi đâu có mình đâu có xe này không?
So we just have to let the ruins be. At that time, the Hobbits
Thì cái này vô nè.
retired. Not many Hobbits were here.
Không, chỗ này vô đây nè.
We keep it for entertainment purposes, but it's tiny.
We go to the Glowworm Cave. Glowworm Cave here. So we've been here 20 years ago. Now I know it's different.
Come and say everyone.
Hồi đó mình nhớ mình mua cái enter ngay tới khác à. Không biết cái này sao rồi.
Cái đâu có đi cái này, không có cái này.
Không biết cái này.
Có cái này.
Gather in everyone, gather in.
This is small.
Some of it smaller. How do you like small things? Right? Well, you're pretty small, so you should be alright. Right, welcome to the outside of the cave. Ta-da! Yay! My name is Mika. You're probably going to forget that. I also respond to mouse, or hey you, or oi, whatever you prefer. So just please talk to me throughout this trip, otherwise I talk at you, and that's not very exciting. So just respond every now and then, make like a noise, so I know you're still alive. Now, I don't particularly like going caving with strangers. I don't know about you guys, but if we could just quickly go around and tell everyone where you're from, that would be absolutely brilliant. So I'll start over here. Canada. Ah, so it's a team. Australia. Oh, sweet. Hey, sweet. You guys?
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Vietnam, no way.
Far away.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Brazil is a rare species. You never get people from Brazil. Back there?
United States,
Hey, awesome.
UK,
UK. US. Excellent, excellent. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to make friends, international friends, bring about world peace and all that. So there you go, talk to each other, it's good. Now before we go into the cave, does anyone actually know the name of the cave? Anyone read their ticket?
Right
Yes,
there.
yes. Sorry?
Who's got the Hobbit cave?
Could be. So this is called ruakuri. So in Māori, rua means two and kuri means dog. So it's the two dog cave. Because about sort of 300, 400 years ago, a Māori tribe found 2 dogs living in one of the entranceways to this cave, just on the other side of this hill. Now, dogs were quite a novelty back then, so they lured them out, they caught them, and they made some items out of their fur. Now, they took these items into battle with them, and they won lots of battles. So they believe the dogs sort of gave them, if you like, magic, like not magic, well, like powers of victory in battle. And so in honour of the dogs, they named the cave after them. Now, some Māori people believe that caves are a passageway to the afterlife, and so they place their dead in the entranceways to help them along on their journey back to Papa Taunuku, who's the Earth Mother. Now that is exactly what happened in this cave, okay, in this entranceway. So there are people buried inside this cave, and we call that area a wahitapu, which is essentially a sacred burial site. So we can't go into that part out of respect for the people that are buried there, which does leave us with a bit of a problem, because that is the only naturally dry way into this cave. There are several other ways, but you either have to abseil in or get wet. So, this is completely fake. The first 5 minutes will be completely fake. We do have authentic spider webs on the ceiling there for your enjoyment, but yeah. It's a pretty amazing way of getting in though, you won't be disappointed. We call it the spiral, because it looks like a spiral, and it is actually the only wheelchair accessible cave in the southern hemisphere. And when you touch them, the natural oils in your skin transfer onto them, and it can actually stop them from growing. Okay, so if that's not enough motivation, definitely read the fine print. Unlike the other caves, if you break something in this one, it's a $10,000 fine. Okay, so that's quite a lot of money, so keep your fingers in your pockets. Okay. Excellent. Any questions about any of that?
So this one not glowworm?
Yes, there's glowworms.
Oh, okay.
Not as many as a glowworm cave.
Oh, so we take the boats at the end of the...
What's sorry?
We will take a boat at the end of...
Not in this one, no. We just walk under them.
Oh.
Yeah, no boats. I get seasick, so
Okay.
no boats.
But you do rafting. But you say the cave is like 350 years old, but when did they find down? When did they discover this cave?
They first discovered it about 300 years ago, but Māori people only ever go into caves as far as daylight reaches.
Yeah.
So they didn't fully explore it till about 100 years ago.
So when they start to get the tourists in?
Like early 1900s.
It's long time ago.
1904, around there.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, any other questions? No? Excellent. Okay, let's go caving.
Okay.
Rachel, stay here.
Okay, you guys just... There you go, center of the earth. So this is the spiral. It took 2 years and $2 million later, we have a big hole in the ground. We're very proud of it. You can take some photos, and once you are done, we'll start walking now.
We go around circle, go down. Like the funnel. Like the funnel, go down.
So over time, water drips through tiny cracks in the rock, slowly eroding it away, eventually leaving behind the passages that we are about to walk through. Now, this rock is standing actually just under 11 years. It's quite literally been buffeting down onto it. All it's done so far has changed colour. It's a very, very slow process to change colour. What was that question before?
Where did they bury the Maori people that...
We go close to it.
Oh, okay.
We're not in it.
No, there's no...
Go close to it.
Oh, okay.
So, this next part, if you like the same song, then welcome. Welcome to my evil list. Because all this rock we're going to be surrounded by was formed under the ocean. Waitoma area used to be a big bay. Anything that dropped to the bottom of that bay got squashed together and made this rock, then it got lifted up and then caves started forming. So watch out for the cave sharks. If you need to touch... Okay, everyone, you should come in here and fill this space. so the people at the back can see as well. Oh, isn't that logical and awesome? Cool. Did we lose anyone?
Flash picture okay, right?
Flash is okay. Yeah, just be careful with people's eyes. Because otherwise they'll hate you. Okay, so welcome to the real cave. Yay! Fun stuff. Anyone been into a cave already today? Yes. Yes, you have? Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else? Sweet. What do you call the dangly things on the roof? Oh, yes.
Stalactites.
Oh, yeah, awesome, that's correct. Yes, she knows it.
And the ones on the sides are stalactites, and the ones where are stalagmites.
Oh, yes, awesome, cool. So if you didn't catch that, stalactites hold on tight, and stalagmites might reach the ceiling. We don't have any stalactites in this cave, unfortunately, but yeah, there you go. So, these things, for those of you who joined together. What? Yes, awesome. Pillar or a column, because it looks just like a pillar or a column. Ha, crazy.
Yay.
Any other questions? No. Okay. You guys seem very excited about life. I'll show you something that's very exciting. So the spiral, about 15 meters from the ceiling to the floor. So we're about 15 meters underground right now. And look at this. We have tree roots.
What?
Can you see the tree roots coming in? I didn't know tree roots went that far underground. I don't know about you, but I think that is pretty cool. Yes. Awesome. Right. Now I'm going to try and turn on some lights so we can see where we go. And we'll stroll on down. Oh, sorry guys, I'll just sneak through. We'll work out.
Yeah, narrow.
Perfect height. Right, sorry, can I just sneak past on your right hand?
Yep.
Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
You might not have seen one of these before.
Yeah, no.
Well, what do you think we call it?
Dog ear.
You're on the right track. It's something you find. Yes, that's it. It's a curtain. Well, in New Zealand we call it a curtain. In Australia you call it a shawl or a drapery. Some parts of Europe call it angel wings. And sometimes it has coloured lines in it. And then you call it cave bacon. So yeah, just someone very hungry must have named that. Now this is where the water has run down the side of the wall as opposed to dripping down like it does with the stalactites and mites. You can see the ceiling slightly more triangular and so the water can go down the side. Also a good place to put the estimated growth rate of a cave into. It's about 1 centimetre wide. And if you put lots of little cubes in there, you can imagine just how old this thing might be. Cubic centimetre every 100 years. But yeah, very impressive. Something else that's impressive is what you're standing on. This is the only spots that actually touch the cave as opposed to the whole bottom of the walkway. So, theory being, if we ever stop running tours in here, we can take it all out and look like no one was ever down here. But you'd be glad to know the bolts, they're about this long, and they tested them to make sure it wasn't going to break with us walking on them, and the device they used to test them actually broke before the bolts did. So, very, very solid. You can jump around as much as you want. Anywhere. Yeah. Cool. Now from now on, there will be motion sensors on the sides, which is what you heard before. Okay, so if you stick your hand over the side once, it makes a really annoying noise. If you do it again, laser beams will chop off your fingers and giant scorpions will fall from the ceiling. Okay, so just keep everything inside. And also the lights will be on timers. So if you walk a little bit too slowly, you will be left in the dark. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. I don't have control over it. It's just because the lights do actually eat away at the rock over time. So we want to leave them on as little as possible. Okay? Sweet. So if someone can please press the green button of happiness, that would be awesome. Brilliant. You may lead the way. Excellent example here. You can sort of see it's more white on this side and more browny orangey in the middle there. So that's due to what's in the rock and the soil above us. The white is just the pure calcite. The brown has picked up something else along the way that the water has as it's come through. So in this case, probably iron particles made it more brown. But if you're really lucky, you can get bright blue, bright red, fluorescent orange, or fluorescent green formations. It just depends what's in the soil and the rock. Yeah, looks a bit like a disco then.
Are they wet or it's just reflection of the
Yeah, probably wet. Yeah, because it's quite active formations still in here. Yeah, so they're still busy growing. We'll go to different parts of the cave and you'll see that they'll be dry because they're not growing anymore.
So some,
That elbow inside.
yeah, some of them formed by salt, sea salt.
Not around here, no.
No, okay.
We're too far away. Yeah, all fresh water in here. We're going to start seeing some glowworms now. So not quite scorpions, but glowworms. Feel free to try and take photos of them. Okay, please don't. What you're looking at is essentially the bum of the glowworm. Okay, the part that is glowing is their equivalent of a kidney. And inside there they do a little chemical process and they produce bioluminescence, one of the purest forms of light on the planet. So it's about 98% light and 2% heat, so very, very efficient. You only ever see the glowworms above water because that's where their food source comes from. Any flying insects, they get hatched out of the water or get washed in, will fly up towards this light because they think it's a way out. And instead of finding freedom, they get trapped in the fishing lines of doom. There you go. Oh, wow. So these are the glowworms' webs. Don't worry if you can't see them well now. We will have a closer look just around the corner.
Right here.
Okay. But yeah, it's essentially just like a spider's web. Insects get stuck, paralyzed, pulled up, a hole drilled in their head, and their inside sucked out. So it's not a very nice way to die. So if you do feel something pulling on your head, just watch out.
What do they eat?
Any little flying insects, so like caddisflies, mayflies, sandflies, that sort of thing. Yeah. Now the glowworm does this for about 9 months, then it will use those same threads to roll up. They transform like a butterfly, end up with wings, but no mouth. So they will starve to death in 2 to 4 days. Design flaw, epic. Now, what would you do if you were a male stuck in a cave, you had about 2 days to live and you had all this mood lighting above you? Yes, you know. So they find the love of their life and they end up with about 120 eggs in groups of 20 because the first glowworm to hatch out will eat all its unborn brothers and sisters. So who's the oldest out of you two? Oh, sorry, you would have been eaten.
We're a year apart.
Oh, you're right then, maybe. Yeah, so that's pretty much the glowworm, eh? We will see some more around the corner, like I said. But when we go around the corner, please just stay at least half a metre away from them, because as you can see, you can't see their threads in this light, okay? So we just don't want to tangle them, because glowworms are very territorial, and if you tangle one glowworm's threads with another, they will actually fight each other to the death. Okay, so...
So lay
Đầu tiên nó có một cái chỗ nó tụt Maori nó chôn ở đó.
Maori chôn nữa.
Maori nó bị chết. Maori ngày xưa họ chôn nhưng mà bây giờ nó không cho mình tới đó tụi vì vấn đề thiêng liêng đó. Nó nói mình ghét là cái gì?
Ghét là cái gì?
Mình hỏi lắm cái chỗ đó là gì á? Chỗ mà có cái
You made them fake. Fake.
Underground, they fish.
Well, they did actually. So when they were
There's a 58 meter below the ground. Yeah. Oh, đấy đang lạnh đó hả? Ăn được chứ gì đâu.
you all feel it's a little bit colder? No. No one's entirely sure why. Now, one of the theories actually owns the cape. It turns out that in New Zealand, if you own the land, you own it all the way to the centre of the earth. So if you have a cave underneath your property, that's yours. The whole family got the cave back, and that's when they decided to block off that entranceway out of respect.
Olha que essa é uma formação rara, viu? Neozelandesa.
Just watch your head in the rock here. Right, but it's actually keep going, otherwise you're going to miss the next one.
Cái gì muối? Tú lại xem muối.
Yeah, there will be. But it's kind of cold though, so I don't know if they could survive.
Nóng rồi. Ở Honduras này kia nó nóng. Ra nó không chờ đó.
Or a lake. Or a river. Oh my god, it's cold.
Mặc áo vô bông.
Well, an email. We go to another cave right now at 1:30 p.m. on April 18, 2016.
You didn't do this one the last time, did you?
This cave, what is this cave?
This one, the name is Aramui.
Arami? Spell it.
A-R-A-M-U-I.
A-R-A-M-U-I.
I just want to show you our native tree to New Zealand. You may have already seen it. It is the silver fern. Okay, so one side is the green and the other side is the silver. And that's where
Oh,
the silver from, okay? It is called the punga tree. The trunks can get to about 10 meters high. They did use the punga trunks to build our whares or our houses back in the old days. So that is our native plant. Please do not break any of the leaves. It is.
You call them again? The name?
It's the silver fern.
oh, silver fern.
The silver fern, but the tree is called the punga tree. P-O-N-G-A.
N-G-A.
Now this is a very good antibiotic. Very good if you've got toothaches. You just need to break it off, chew on it, and it does numb that area.
Oh,
Very good for cleansing the body out also. My father does boil it and we do drink it. Yeah, you can also eat it if you like, if you want to have a little
Just
taste.
chew like we chew the battle nuts, huh?
The good ones are the ones where the insects have actually
insects.
eaten.
They,
Oh, they know what good.
That's a good one.
they're smart.
The Aranui cave was first explored in 1910. Now what happened is that a Māori man named Te Ruruku Aranui was pig hunting around the reserve. His two dogs chased the pig up the hill and the pig entered the cave for safety, but the dogs actually secured the pig in this area here. There was a pit under the floorboards here, so the two dogs secured the pig until Te Ruruku Aranui made his way up the hill. Aranui made his way into the cave, done what he needed to do with the pig and looked around, and you may be able to see sculptures in the rocks. So we do have sheep hanging just in this area here. It still has its fleece on. We also have a goose or a duck just in that area here. We have Te Ruruku Aranui's pig just hanging there. You may be able to see the snout. Many ugly ones.
No river come over.
Take a look up in this area here. You'll be able to see a few of the winters. They are the same family as the grasshopper.
Those animals, right? Those insects over there.
Yeah.
You can see them
So you see Cape Weta? And also
on your right hand side nè. Ông thấy một cái con bự lắm. Right hand side, right in the corner.
they are harmless, but they do jump. So
Do you check?
yeah, they're harmless. It's they don't like much light. Just taking a look in front there, we do have our largest stalagmite in the cave. It's a big block, round block. You may be able to see a person holding someone in his arm. Two lines in the mouth.
Oh, yes.
We also call it Aunt Daisy's upside pudding, or we've seen Star Wars Juggernaut. We'll keep moving down, mine will head down below.
Quite a big bowl.
It's huge. Yep. Okay.
Oh, that yeah.
Now this area here, folks, is our highest point in the cave. Any highest point, we do call it the cathedral. The limestone rock is porous. It's similar to a sponge. It absorbs sound. Very good for singing in this area. If we do have any singers in our group, you are more than welcome She'll sing us a song. The acoustic sound if you like. Is that my party? I can sing you a little one. It's,
Yeah, okay.
it's a little Māori song.
Māori.
It's called Kōrero Māori. It's Kōrero Māori is talking the Māori language. Our
Māori language. She sings the
Bringing
song.
it back. Here we go. Kua e tai ki te wā mawe Namana ki tangana o te rungarawa kia koutu kia tangi o te nako hotu kauana kōrero Māori I ngā wakato kōrero Māori I ngā wahi katoa. Kia ora. There's a little through this area carving out the passageways. And right at the end of the cave, we will come to an ancient rock fall that actually stopped the river from flowing through the cave. And there is a similar cave on the other side of the rock fall that goes for another kilometre. And once upon a time, these two caves did join together. Okay. If you do get too close to the formations, you may hear a beat. Okay. You will see a lot of formations that have flapped edges in this area.
Tụi nó tách cho nó bẻ còn rung.
Sao biết?
Biết luôn, giờ nó không cho vô nữa. Nó không có y chứ là y hồi đó là bao nhiêu năm nó đi 100 year một đời người nó được có 1 cm này. Nó tính chứ. Đây là
100 year, 100 cm hả? Cái này nó bẻ rồi.
Cái đó bẻ không có gì. Hồi xưa cơ cái này nó mới cho nó cũng ngọt thiệt.
Wow, 10 years ago.
New Zealand này nó mới.
Just waiting just over the staircase beyond
Nó form như là con rô ha. Hay thiệt chứ.
Just waiting on the other side of the mapped
300k.
and surveyed. 17 of the caves are commercial and the rest are adventurous caves, wild caves,
Okay.
abseiling, rock climbing as such. But we do have over 1,000 caves on a 50-kilometre radius.
Oh, why make too many cases like that?
Because all Waitomo used to be under the ocean.
Oh, this one used to be under the ocean?
Yes.
Oh, that
millions of years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Waitomo is pretty much made up of limestone
Oh.
underneath the soil.
Oh, right. So that's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How long is the one in Vietnam? The
long
Sơn
time.
Đồng.
Oh, so-
No, the Sơn Đồng, how many kilometers?
I don't know. Long.
Long.
You know Sơn Dong,
Sơn
right?
Đồng and
In Vietnam,
in
the-
Vietnam,
one
we
of
have
the
those
biggest.
caves.
Yeah, it'd be one of the biggest. Would be
Yes.
around, say, 16 kilometres or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The one that
We've been in a lot of caves. Yeah.
So we have come to the end of.
Oh, beautiful.
Was that one right? I've done it right. Got our way. So we're slowly going to make our way out of the cave. I will follow from behind to shutting our lights out. And just that's it. When you're ready to make your way out.
So now we get out of the cave, and we had to go to Glowworm Cave. That's the best. We say the best for last. This one was tubing.
And they're really strict about it because I would go
Aranui Cave. We just finished Aranui Cave. Now we're going back to Glowworm Cave.
and I guess in Canada there's what is it, cohabitation law. So you can manage in like a certain like a year period.
Maramoto Glowworm second time. Second time.
Meaning water entering a hole.
We started getting Glowworm Cave. Glowworm Cave. Go to Glowworm Cave. Okay, Glowworm Cave.
And a few simple rules up on this board over here. The Waitomo Caves were first discovered in 1887 when a local Māori chief named Tani Tenoro, accompanied by an English surveyor named Frederick Mace. If you look over this railing here, you can see the Waitomo River just down below. Now back in 1887, the two men made a raft made out of flax, sticks and leaves and floated their way into the cave just down below. Discovering the beautiful glowworms we'll be able to see just at the end of our tour. It took the men 2 years to map and survey this cave, officially opening tours to the public in 1889, so we have been operating and running tours for 126 years now. A few simple rules up on this board over here. No eating or drinking in the cave. Water is exceptional as long as you take your bottles out with you. No smoking in the cave, no touching of any of the rocks or formations, as the oils in our skin do tend to stain the limestone. We'd like to keep the limestone as white as possible. Also, once we get past through these doors, there's simply no photography or videoing with or without flash. And yeah, that's about it. Before we head on in, please watch your head for at least the first 10 to 15 metres as the ceiling is very low. Being mindful of any other groups that may be ahead or behind us, so just keeping the noise to a minute.
But all for Glowworm. Finished Glowworm Cave, the third cave. Now we start from 11 until now 4, so it's 5 hours. Yeah, so that's enough for Tomo Cave. So now we have to Rotorao.
깨끗한 데만 들어가서 봐도 근데 여기가 진짜 깨끗하다는
đem mà nó xả nước ra người ta. Quầy cá tô nè, quầy cá tô đem nè. Nó xả nước ra tới một ngày nó xả mất cái chỗ này nữa. Và là lưỡi giống cái thằng màu riêng. Là lưỡi trợn mắt nữa.
Mine are